What's going on, team, and welcome back along to Rugby Challenge 4, where today and for the next few episodes of this is going to be a little mini-series. We're going to look at what a lot of you guys asked for during the Going In Blind videos, which was pretty much ratings and what the squads look like for the licensed teams from the international sides, the Super Rugby teams, and of course the Premiership teams as well from England. So each of these little videos we're going to be looking through the licensed teams from each of the licensed competitions and just seeing what the squads look like, what the ratings look like, and little things like that while the game is still relatively new. So if you are thinking of buying it, you want to see what the teams rate like before the fan hub really gets up and going, you can see exactly how they sit and what the players look like as well, which is all a big part of it as well. Now, as all of you guys are waiting on the Be A Pro Series 2 startup, it hasn't started when you're watching this video. It will be starting the same week as this goes out, so you can keep your eyes peeled. Nathan Nichols is making a return, and he's going to be coming very, very, very soon. If he's not out when you're watching this, then it will be just a number of days away. So keep your eyes peeled on that, coming up on the channel very, very soon. So we're going to kick off today's little mini-series of licensed teams by having a look at the international sides, and this one won't be too particularly long because there's not that many of them. So we'll have a look through the ones that are licensed, the players' ratings, things like that, and go from there. As you can see straight away, we don't have the Argentinians. Australia's going to be the first one, so let's take a look at them. So what you may notice is there's quite a few players in here that have come and gone, and although the squads are a little dated, they seem to be updated with still a little bit of history, how it holding in behind as well. So let's take a look at who is in this Wallabies squad. We start off with the starting 15 as it would be. James Slipper, Flau Faianga, Taliana Tupou would be the front row. Rodder, where's he gone in Australian rugby? Ooh, he's out the window. Lukan Solokai Lotu is in there as well. Rob Valentini, Michael Hooper, and Naisarani is the number 8. Joe Powell is there. Matt Tamua, looks like he's been left out in the sun for too long. Korobeti, big shame about Korobeti. He's had a shave. Oh, Marika, what have you done? Anyway, James O'Connor, well, wait, he's playing. What a battle this is, isn't it? Between Super Rugby AU at the moment, between O'Connor and Tamua. Reece Hodge is in there. Tom Banks, currently Beale, he's gone as well, isn't he? Junior Lisi, Scott Seo, Alan Alatoa, Rory Arnold, Jack Dempsey, Nick White, Hamish Stewart. I mean, I'll go through all of these. I'll just slowly pick them out as we go. You can see their ratings on the side as well, how cool their faces do look, and how much Australian rugby and all these international teams have changed throughout, I guess, the last probably 6 months. A lot has changed, hasn't it, with what's going on around the world, contracts and paying players money. They've all, well, some of them have jumped ships. Lele Fano is more of a water boy now than what he is before. Jordan Pataya is there as well. Look at that, 19 years old, 82 rated. Fairly handy sort of player. I'm sure he's probably even better than that now if you're going to rate him. Samu Karevi left after the World Cup last year. So, I mean, that's the sort of thing that's not being fully updated. But the other guys that are thereabouts right now are still there in the team. 43 players for the Wallabies, all fairly decently rated as well. What do you reckon about the Wallabies? Rated well? Rated poorly? Let me know as we go through them what you guys think about the players specifically and their ratings as a team and as a unit. So the next thing we'll have a look at will be England. Let's see how the Old English stack up compared to what we looked at already in the Wallabies. So let's see who was in this English squad. Marco Vunipola there, of course, Jamie George and Kyle Sinclair. Of course, World Cup runners-up as well. So I expect their ratings, compared to Australia, who didn't make it as far in the World Cup as England, how do they compare between the two is what I'm going to find the most interesting. Maro Tolje, very highly rated, 89 overall. Courtney Laws, Tom Curry, Sam Underhill, mid to low 80s, maybe a bit harsh on those two guys. Vunipola Youngs, only a 79 for Ben Youngs. George Ford, they've got a 10. Johnny Mays there. Owen Farrell, captain, goal kicker, play kick, everything a 91 rating there for Farrell. Tuolangi is still there as well. Anthony Watson and Elliot Daly round out the starting 15. So Tuolangi gets a 90, Watson an 86, and Daly an 84. Interesting ratings, I think, on those players. Let me know, of course, what your guys' thoughts are, especially you guys out in the north on these sort of players for England. This is their reserve bench. Willie Hines is there, 76. If you ask me, that's about 20 too high for Hines. If I'm going to sing it there, an 83. Henry Slade as well. Plenty of big names. Brad Shields looks amazing. He looks like he's just come out of a cave on a 10-year little cave runaway mission. and plenty of 80s through the rest of their bench as well. Danny Kerr picks up an 83. Zach Mercer, guys in the 70s now going through this bench. Dylan Hartley only rated a 78. So that's a bit harsh. Jonathan Joseph, an 86. It's pretty high rating for a guy that doesn't even make the bench. And we've got a whole pile of Jack Noel. I mean, what's his pace? You know, Jack Noel's a pacey guy, 1885. Bit harsh. Let me know what you think about that going through. Piers Francis picks up a 78. Goodness gracious me. 47 players overall for England. Yeah, I'm interested to know your thoughts because there's a lot of ups and downs through this English team. Okay, we're one on from England. EF. It's the Flying Fijians. A lot of you guys asked for this one, so I'd expect a lot of people probably skipping straight to Fiji. Let's take a look at the licensed Fijians. This is almost exciting. Now, Fiji have a lot of players in the top flight of rugby around the globe. And in the club scene, I'm talking players a little bit throughout Super Rugby, mainly in the north, in the Pro 14, and of course in the Premiership as well. So I'm expecting a lot of these guys are going to have the superstar players. You can see already there's guys in the high 80s throughout the scene, but I think they're going to have a lot of probably weak areas of guys like you see at hooker. Matavesi is just a 63. So we'll see how they go. Penny Ravai is there, the loose head prop, just a 68. And again, Sam Matavesi is just a 63. Manasa Salo, a 72. A decent sort of rating. But here we see these superstars. Tavita Kavubati and Leone Nakarawa. Those two guys are both in the 80s. 83 and 80 are very, very good. Domenico Wakana Baroturu, just a 77. He's been around a long time. I thought, you know, he's a name that you kind of expect. Fijian rugby is right up there. Pasiliato, though, 85, definitely a well-deserved rating. That guy is a big superstar. Ivunami Mata, another one. That big back row we seen at the World Cup last year. Superstar players, and the big number 8 picks up an 88 rating. Frank Lamani plays at the Rebels in Super Rugby, or Super Rugby AU currently at the moment. 78, decent for the little scrum half. And Ben Volavola, he's been around, hasn't he? He's been through Super Rugby. He's been in the Northern Hemisphere. He's been everywhere, has Volavola. 86, maybe a bit kind, but he's a quality player. Paddy Osborne, still around. He's a bit of a veteran now. 67, maybe a little bit harsh on poor old Patrick Osborne, but of course former Highlander as well. Now, Vatubua, 76, the inside centre. Dal Vatubua, again, these players that just kind of let the team down. Semi Radradra, 88. Let's have a look at his pace, shall we? 89 speed and 91 acceleration. We know he's rapid, and that just confirms it. Josua Tuasova, 89. What's his pace? 87 and 90? But really high on the strength, isn't he? 90 strength as well. We see these guys really are the superstars in this Fijian side. Kini Munimunivalu, 81. Again, another stack player. Look how young Tuisova is, about 25. Goodness me, an absolute superstar. Right, now we see where there's probably other guys that really kind of let Fiji down as a whole squad. A few guys in the 60s, 70s, and eventually getting back in the 80s. Simi Kunatali, an 85 rated as well. And Ratuni Yarawa is an 84. So big prop. Second row again could fit in. A lot of talent in that second row and back row of the pack. Nicola Matawalu, electric little player. I'm surprised, an acceleration on this sort of guy wouldn't be a little bit higher than just 75, but a 67 rating overall there. Lapani Botia, just a 70, but here we go. Alreti Vatakani, this guy is a real superstar, 84 rated. He kind of, as a fullback or as a winger, where does he fit into this stacked backline that is Fiji? I mean, you'd put him somewhere in there, wouldn't you? Even in midfield, whatever, 84 rated. Vaitakani is a talented player. But now we go through the reserves, 66, 60, 60, a lot of 60s, even down to the 50s as well, as we go through these guys who aren't even in the reserves. And I mean, this is a big thing here. Namani Nagusa, 80 rated, very good. Again, second row, back row, they are stacked there, but the rest of these guys here, the reserves, just not up to the standard at all. Nice Alivu, a veteran, I guess, of Fijian rugby, just a 67 rating. More 66 for Sal. Nice Alivu there, just a 60. Goodness me, see, these guys really aren't going to make the team, are they? A good lot of players, though, and you've got to look at this and say, 47, that is a good stack of licensed Fijian players, but overall, stat-wise, a lot of them are pretty average. Outside of maybe the top 20 players, there's a lot to be decided in this Fijian side. But I mean, goes to show, this is a team that on their day can beat anyone with skills and talents like these high 80s, especially in this back line for Fiji. They are a great side. It's great to see them licensed as well. Great for Fiji and great for us as players that we can use these guys now as a licensed team here on Rugby Challenge 4. So believe it or not, Fiji was the most popular international side that you guys wanted to see in the comment section. So a bit of a surprise, especially when you've got like the Australians and the All Blacks and the South Africans, all those sort of players. But it is there's South Africa, it is Fiji, which were the most requested to see. And I mean, that is it. That is the big internationally licensed side. So we've only got a couple more to look at here. No one really wanted to see the All Blacks or the Springboks, but here we are. We're going to do it anyway. You almost could have done this video just showing off Fiji, but we're going to do the whole lot of the international sides. And here is the All Blacks, the New Zealand team. Now remember, knocked out by England. We've looked at England in the World Cup. Of course, beat South Africa in the pool stage of the World Cup, but then went on, of course, South Africa to win the Rugby World Cup. We've got a good comparison going on here between the English, the Springboks, and, of course, the All Blacks. So let that comparison go through with how you view these teams. Joe Moody, the starting loose head prop, Cody Taylor, and Nipo Lalala. Now 81 and 80s for those three guys. Brody Retallick, I mean, you can't argue that guy's a 91. Sam Whitelock not far behind in 88. Shannon Frizzell, I suppose, if you asked me even 3 months ago, Shannon Frizzell, I looked at this, I'd say, yeah, that's fair. Shannon Frizzell's been pretty average. But now, after Super Rugby Aotearoa, I think Shannon Frizzell certainly has his stocks risen up big time. I think into like a mid-80s sort of player, maybe an 84, 83, if you want to really stretch, maybe an 85. Sam Cane, yeah, okay. Ardie Savea, a 90. That's really, really high for Ardie Savea. Aaron Smith, 89. Deserves that at least. Richie Mo'unga, he's the starting number 10 and 91 on his back. George Bridge, 85. Antonina Brown at 12. Oh, Jack Goodhue there. You know what? This is just personal preference of mine, but I prefer them this way around. 82 and 88, regardless, I think Antonina Brown on his day. That's probably a little bit generous for Anton through there. 84 for Sevu Reece and Bowden Barrett, the star, of course, 93 rated. How does the rest of the team stack up, though? Dane Cole's very good, 85. Toinga Fasi, Tartwell down in the 70s, 78. Scott Barrett in the 80s. Jacobson, 76. Perenara on par with Aaron Smith. I guess it's hard to argue. You love him or you hate him, don't you, with that scrum half battle with the All Blacks. Geordie Barrett in 86. Rico Ioane in 83. Carl Tuinufuaki is there as well, 78. But now we see we're dropping down the 76s of Lomax. And a lot of players here in the 70s. Nathan Harris still there. Vai Fafita is 77. Petty Toy Bluetooth probably deserves that. 82 at least for him now, especially I'd bump him up a little bit. Kieran Reid, of course, not even in New Zealand rugby now, retired from the international scene effectively, you could say. But who knows with the way the world is at the moment, what's going to happen with him. Dalton Papali'i of 74, Brad Weber, and of course, Tahuria Rangi is 79. Yes, hardly played Super Rugby this year, did he? But still he's there in the team. Josh Ioane in 80. Yep, you'll probably give him a bit more, but what? Brett Cameron. One cap, Brett Cameron. He's there on a 74. Nangi Laumapi in 85. What is his out of interest? Is he a breaking tackle? 90. 90 rated on breaking tackles. Of course he is. Brandon Ozier as well, 79. Mackenzie in 88. Ryan Crotty, of course he's gone. Matt Todd is gone. Ben Smith is gone. And that rounds out the All Blacks team. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. I think a lot of players have changed throughout Super Rugby Aotearoa this season. So the ratings, interesting. I think a few are too high. Probably that man there is a little bit nudging too high. And others, you probably say someone like Aaron Smith should be maybe in a 91 or a 90 at least, I think, just by a tick. But there we go. Again, your thoughts, New Zealand fans, what do you guys reckon? Right, just the one licensed team to go. It's South Africa. It's the Springboks. It's the Rugby World Cup champions of 2019. So our final licensed international team, it is the World Cup champions, the Springboks, South Africa. Let's have a look at their team, shall we? Again, compare England, they beat the final, the All Blacks who lost to England, but of course the All Blacks who beat South Africa. It's a little bit of a love triangle between our licensed sides here. And you know, a quick glance, you'd say the All Blacks are probably a little bit overrated. Maybe South Africa not as highly rated as they should be. They are the champions, of course. So we look through the side. Tendai and Tawera, just an 82. The Beast, an 82? No, I don't think so. Malcolm Marx at his prime is probably a 90 easily. But is he still at his prime? I mean, going through, he's not been at his best. 25, he's still got a long way to come, though, to become even better. 90 rated, though, for Malcolm Marx. Franz Maholbra, I think, is way better than a 77, definitely. Etzebeth and Diaga, yes, they are up there with the best. 1987. Sia Khaleesi, an 85. Give him more. Give him more. I mean, this is Sia Khaleesi, one of the most iconic players now in world rugby. Great player, great leader. I would give him more than an 85. Peter Steph Toy, again, World Player of the Year. Why is he not a 90 at least for the Springboks? Damien Mullen, an 88. That's a decent rating for him. Faf de Klerk. You know what's disappointing about Faf de Klerk here? Is his hair. He looks like he's got it all tied up. It's Faf. Let it flow like Faf does. Let it get the two-tone colours. Come on. This is a man you could go absolutely wild on to make look awesome. I think they missed a trick there with Faf, but an 89 I think is a pretty good rating for him. Andre Pollard, an 89 as well. Marcus Mapimpi. What? 82? Come on. This man tore up 2019. One of the best wingers in the game. 91 speed, 86 acceleration, but just an 82 overall is a little bit harsh on him. Damien Delendi, 85 in midfield. Jesse Creel, the old firm combination, 87. 92, Cheslin Colby, cannot argue with that. One of the better players in the game alongside Bowden Barrett. Imagine those two in your back three. That would be just insane. Billy LaRue, an 82. A bit harsh on poor old Billy. A good little player again. Probably not one in his prime throughout the release of this game, but still, 82, a little bit harsh maybe on Billy LaRue. Bongi and Manambi, you'd argue, would be the starting hooker with the way Malcolm Marx played last year, and was, of course, as well in that position. 81 rated for him. Stephen Kitchoff at 82, and Trevor Nyakani just an 80. Oh, goodness me. Archie Snyman, 88. That's a good rating for the big man. And Francois Lowe, just an 82. Herschel Yankees, a 75. Francois Stain, 87. That's a good rating, but really interesting. These front rowers, I think, really hardly done by. Warwick Gallant, 78. He's rapid. 85 and 82? Warwick Gallant? Really? Tell me otherwise. Tell me otherwise. I think he should be a bit better than that as well. Thomas Atoy, 79. Vincent Koch, 76. Luso Kubwaka is 75. Schalkbrits, man, Schalkbrits should be 100. He should be a mythical legend of rugby. Schalkbrits, though. Franco Mostert, 87. That's very good for Franco Mostert. Not even on the bench. And Marvin Aurier is 67. Goodness me, that's terrible. Quagga Smith, though. Oh, the legend of Quagga Smith. Don't worry, we're coming back. Quagga, we're coming back to be a pro. We're going to try and get involved with you somehow, if we can. 82 for Quagga. Damien Willemse, 76. Andre Esterhazen, an 80. Wow. I mean, Willemse, really harshly there. Lekanyuama, 78. Oh, I think this is the worst one of them all. 78 for Lekanyuama. Kicking of 10. A kicking of 10. No. Don't get me wrong. Lekanyuama isn't a brilliant world-saving kicker. But, I mean, he's a decent little nudger for a midfielder. He can put little chips in, little kicks in, territorially to put your team in front. A rating of 10? I mean, come on, he's at least like a 70 kicker, maybe a 75, but overall a 78. No, that's a shocker. Dylan Lades, versatile is his middle name, and only giving him 2 positions there. 76, though, pretty average as well. Elton Yankees, I mean, there's not a rating for pressure, but a 75. Goodness me, that's almost appalling. Sabu Nkosi, a 79. Again, another rapid player. Wilco Lowe, 72. Goodness me, Marcel Coetzee, an 81. Reinhard Eldstad is, well, 70. Kobus Reinach, an 85, and just the 40 players for South Africa for the Springboks as well. Yeah, no, I don't like that. These guys are world champions. I mean, sure that doesn't count for everything, but some of these guys, you know, comparing to the All Blacks, yes, oh, it's the All Blacks, okay, that's all well and good, but these guys are world champions. These are the cream of the crop, the elite of the elite, and some of these guys, I think, have been absolutely shafted. Maholbra for one, Mbanambi for another. Who do we talk about? Lekanyuam is definitely another one as well. Shafted completely by these ratings. But alas, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. I feel sorry, South African fans and South African players definitely not at the ballpark for their ratings. So what do you guys reckon? Is there a market that Rugby Challenge 4 kind of looks at when they release this game, saying, you know, we're going to really target New Zealand fans and let's make their teams and their players that little bit better? Are we targeting the English fans? Because really, there's a few questionable ones in there as well. I think maybe England and South Africa, especially South Africa, were a little bit underdone, whereas the All Blacks probably a little bit overdone, I think, on the rating-wise. But, of course, that's just my initial thoughts, having a quick look through. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, as per always. And that's a bit of a look at the ratings. Fiji, well, how good is it to see Fiji in the game? Again, leave your thoughts in the comment section below about the ratings. I'll be back again because we've got to look at Super Rugby. That one might take a little while to go through all those teams. So it might be just a little bit quicker, and hopefully we'll have the Waratahs in there soon as well. Then, of course, we've got to look at Premiership in England. So we've got a whole bunch of teams to look through there as well. They'll be coming up very, very soon as well. Of course, like I mentioned at the start, Nathan Nichols will be kicking off very, 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 very soon. I'm looking forward to getting him back in the game. Thanks for tuning in and watching, and of course leaving your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you all very soon for plenty more. As I said, very, very, very soon. Nathan Nichols, more stats, and of course plenty more rugby. Until then, thanks for watching and take care.